Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the OptiMystic Wellness podcast. My name is Jordan, and I will be your primary host. I'm also one of the 4 founding members of the OptiMystic Wellness Collaborative and Sisterhood. Throughout the following weeks, you'll learn more about who we are and what we do, and you'll also hear interviews from other spiritual entrepreneurs and business owners. Today's first episode is a quick introduction to who the 4 of us are and what we provide in the collaborative. We hope you'll join us there, but if not, you can catch up with us here on Heart Over Ego Radio. Thanks so much, and I look forward to getting to know all of you. Hello, my name is Jordan Eck, and I am a co-founder of the OptiMystic Wellness Collaborative. I am here today with my 4 co-creators, and we're going to share a little bit about who we are and what we're doing in Optimistic Wellness. I have Lydia McLean, Jennifer Edwards, and Shayna Sackerson. We're each going to kind of go around a bit and share a little bit about our backgrounds and what you'll find in our collaborative. So we'll start with you, Lydia. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your specialty, where you are.
Sure. Thank you so much, Jordan. My name is Lydia McLean, and I'm a breathwork facilitator and a vocal empowerment coach, currently based in Simsbury, Connecticut. And my journey to spirituality really began with my own healing journey from a very aggressive eating disorder that really plagued my whole adolescence and early adulthood. And I sought out healing really when I was in graduate school for vocal performance. So I come from a background as a singer. I'm a classically trained opera singer, and I always really found that I was hiding behind my voice and hiding behind this identity as a singer and who I was told that I was supposed to be. And my healing journey really came about from a desire to go within and to tap into more, to like, what is my identity? What is my voice beyond being a singer? And through my healing journey, I discovered breathwork, which really was like a lightning bolt, like big aha moment. And I'd always been so connected to my breath from being a singer, but I never knew the healing potential of diving in and really activating all parts of my voice. And now I offer breathwork, I offer voice lessons, I offer empowerment coaching, and it really feels like an alchemy of all of it, and to really be here to encourage women to use all parts of their voice. And I'm still here on my healing journey, and so happy to be sharing space with all of us. So thank you for asking. I could keep going, but I'm going to keep it succinct so we can keep going. Thank you, Jordan.
Awesome. Yeah. I think we've talked about this at length, especially over the past couple of weeks, but Shayna mentioned it on one of our monthly full moon circles yesterday, that we are all still healing, right? It's a continuous journey. We never stop evolving. And so part of what I love about our collaborative is that the 4 of us are really growing with our members. So I find that really special. And thanks so much for sharing a bit of your story. Next, we'll go to Jennifer Edwards. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey and what you are bringing to our collaborative.
Hi, everybody. My home base is South Portland, Maine, which is where my shop, Thank Goddess, is located. My specialty is I'm a plant-based esthetician. I love working with plants and flower essences. I'm an astrologer and also a Reiki 3 practitioner. So I deal with lots of energy medicine. One of the things that I thrive on in my practice is blending those 3 things together to help people release and also to have them pinpoint what it is inside of them that needs to be released. And I like to help people find the vibration of love and kind of have them see that love is what the universe is made out of. That's what the secret is, the universe. On my journey, it actually started really young in Casco, Maine. I remember I have these fond memories of we moved to our first house and I found these little bottles downstairs, and I remember mixing these potions and I didn't know what I was doing. And I realize now I think I was reliving a past life experience, but ever since that point, I always knew that there was something something with the stars, and I have been actively involved in astrology since 15 years old, and I became deeply involved in that because it helped me discover my own psychological patterns, as well as help other people discover theirs, where their blocks were. And that's where the alchemy is with astrology, to understand the energy of the planets and not so much use it as a guidepost to what you have to do and what you cannot do, but rather what kind of energy is there and how you can be fully supported in the ways that you want to be. I began doing professional astrology at the age of 35. I should have been doing professional astrology since the age of 20. But we all have this moment where we don't think that we're good enough, but we really are. And so here I am today, and hopefully, I can make people understand that the moon really does have something important to say to us each and every day.
Yes. I love that you shared how all of that comes together, right? All of your passions kind of come together. And I have to tell you, I've been to a lot of astrologers, and I'm not saying this because you're my friend, but you are, quite frankly, the most gifted and knowledgeable astrologer I've ever encountered. So I know all of us are so grateful to have you here and sharing the stars with us. So thank you. And next we have Shayna. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are, and what you're bringing to the collaborative, and a little bit about your journey too.
All right, thank you, Jordan. I'm Shayna Sefferson, and I currently live in St. Paul, Minnesota. I do a variation of a lot of different things, but I am a body worker. I am a healer. I incorporate many, many different modalities into what I do. It's kind of hard to explain what all of that is, quite frankly. But through my journey, I have found, so I am a chiropractor, I do visceral work, and through all of that, I have found that I like to get to the root cause of what's going on in someone. I like to empower someone in their own ability to heal that themselves, that they can find healing and empowerment and embodiment within themselves. And I found through that work that the root cause of what's going on in someone is usually based in emotional or spiritual pain from the past. And so I really love to help facilitate people to go into healing that and finding their power and helping them to really feel empowered within themselves, and knowing that they can both find healing in a collaborative, in a sisterhood, and also have that healing and that ability to empower themselves as well. What led me to that is my journey into spirituality has been a long one, honestly. As a child, for many years, I dreamed of how I died in past lives almost every single night. And so from the time I was a very young age, I believed in things that what I realized in the culture that I grew up in was not very common. So I kind of went into hiding and had a lot of veils around who I was and what I believed. And journeying forward in life, I even realized when I was in chiropractic school, I thought and felt and believed a lot differently than a lot of my colleagues. Even though I really believed in holistic health and wellness, the way I wanted to approach it was very different. So I constantly was kind of feeling off and different than other people in my community, even though there were similarities there. And then really what sprang me into a deep, deep dive of healing was after my divorce. And there was a lot of things around that. It wasn't just a divorce, it was a lot of chaos and a lot of pain all at one time. And through that, it led me into a lot of healing and finding myself, and healing a lot of childhood trauma that I had been disassociated from as well. So I am a person that, even though it's not very fun, I find the necessity in going through the journey of healing into the underworld, and I have the ability to hold the light in the lantern for people there, because I know it very intimately and very well, and I know how much healing and empowerment can come out of doing that journey. So that is kind of my journey on healing and holistic healing and spirituality all kind of wrapped into one, honestly. So that's my journey there.
I remember the first time I met you, we all met each other the same weekend at Omega. And I remember I was very pregnant with my second daughter, and all you had to do was like, you did a little work on my hips, but like just your touch, like you can feel your healing power. It's really amazing. And I think that comes through really beautifully in your daily card reads on the Slack channel and through the meditations that you put out on the collaborative membership site. It's beautiful, and I'm grateful for it. So thank you again. I'm just thanking all three of you because I love you so much. I'll share a quick little bit about myself. I'm located in Ellington, Connecticut at the moment, but hopefully going to Vermont soon. And I am more kind of in the coaching and marketing strategy and business space, but with a really big focus personally on spirituality and with working with clients who are spiritually minded or spiritually guided. And I met these three amazing women at Omega during a time where I was doing a lot of healing, really kind of going through, actually we were talking about this earlier, but my Saturn return right in the midst of my Omega trip. And we've kind of kept in touch. I've kept in touch with each of the three of you individually, kind of at least every 6 months, right? It's just a quick touch base. It feels like we've been talking all along, but sometimes there's a big gap there. And one morning I woke up and knew I had to reach out to the three of these amazing women and create OptiMystic Wellness. So that's kind of how OptiMystic Wellness was born, and a little bit about my spiritual journey. Again, mine would be really long too, so I won't go too far into it. But next, I kind of want to talk about what convinced all of you to say yes to becoming a part of OptiMystic Wellness, and what made it feel like this was something you wanted to do. So I'll start with you, Lydia.
Awesome. It's so hard to find the words because it's very much lives in the heart. And, you know, we have to acknowledge, like, when we're recording this right now, we're recording this in the middle of both a health pandemic with coronavirus, also a racial injustice pandemic that we are witnessing. All four of us are within the United States. Some of us are feeling the impact more than others in our direct community. And we couldn't have predicted this whenever we said yes. We said yes to this, like, really right as everything was starting to bubble to the surface. And I think the biggest thing that still brings me into this space and that lights my fire and that has me lean in more, and that I know we're making this call today now and not when we first started, was because we're here to shift. We're here to change the paradigm. We're here to hold space for women to end the war within themselves and to become their best ally and to become an ally to all beings and an ally to each other. And I think what really drew me in was seeing the potential on a global level. This is before we were social distancing and everything turned virtual. We were like, let's have a virtual space for women to have a safe, sacred space to be together that transcends location and really can bring healing to you, and to remember that you are your own healer and that all the tools we provide are ultimately self-healing. So what brings me back over and over again is that I see this global impact that's happening, and it starts right here with us in this space. And I'm so grateful to be here. I know that we're here for a reason, and that all of our sisters who are drawn to our community are here to rise and to learn from each other together. And that this isn't a hierarchy, right? This is like us all continuing the conversation on our healing journey. So I think the collaborative spirit is, if I had to sum it up, and the collaborative potential for true change within all beings. That's why I'm here.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, COVID-19 was barely a thing, I think, when I reached out to all of you. And so, and, you know, I think obviously the racial injustices have always been there. And, one of the first phone calls we had was, how do we make this a really inclusive community, being 4 white women, right? And I'm glad that we set everything up before all of this so that it's ready and available to anyone who needs it. And, you know, just quickly, one of the biggest priorities for me was that this gives people a bunch of opportunities to do some healing, right? They can utilize Lydia's breathwork or Shayna's meditations or Jen's astrology readings and just kind of take everything in as they need it, but it's incredibly accessible. It's not, you know, crazy overpriced. And, you know, with everything happening in the world, we're all kind of, I think, looking at our budgets a little more. And I'm just really proud that the 4 of us are coming together to really give something invaluable with the community, especially. I think that's the unsung hero of our membership too, and it's really growing and becoming a beautiful space. So I'm grateful that we started this at the beginning of all of it instead of right now in the middle of it, but I'm glad we're recording too today. And Jen, I'd love to hear what convinced you to say yes.
Well, I mean, look at the ladies I'm in company with right now. I mean, obviously, if I had the opportunity to be able to create such an amazing container for people to come and have a safe space to explore their soul, especially with other members, I feel like community, especially during these times, is something that's incredibly important and is a very powerful medicine. When we are able to congregate in circle, in sisterhood, we can share and we can grow much faster. One of the things that drew me to this was the ability to be able to help people understand how energy works, because everybody vibrates, and without vibration, I wouldn't be able to see you. And to understand the basic knowledge of how energy works helps people sort of understand reality, the ethers, and how we are truly a part of everything. And so to be able to be a part of someone's healing helps them, especially as a community, release this energy into the universe and create a ripple effect. This is our way of giving back. This is our way of healing, and this is our way of holding sisterhood in a container. I couldn't be happier to be and blessed to be in a group of such talented women. Thank you, Jordan.
It's funny. I am a very independent soul. And so the fact that, you know, the 4 of us can come together and, you know, really speak our truth openly and freely and bounce ideas off of each other without feeling like, you know, we're afraid to speak out has been a really beautiful experience for me. And I love what you said about the ripple effect, because I think, you know, if you are just throwing one rock into the water, you have just one small ripple. But with the 4 of us, I think we could make some real waves.
Yes, we can.
Shayna, tell me a little bit about what made you say yes.
Well, to be quite honest, I have wanted to do some kind of online forum of leading healing meditations for a couple of years now. And I could feel it was something deep within my heart and my soul. And I wanted to contribute that kind of healing out into the world and be able to touch so many more people's lives with healing than I was able to do on an individual basis, the way I was working currently. And for a long time, though, I was like, I really want to incorporate astrology into it. I really want to become a breathwork facilitator. I'm not great at the technology. And honestly, all these things were a big part of what I wanted. And then when you came and brought this idea to me, I was like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for, because I could feel I wanted to do it, but I kept getting a pause. I kept getting a not yet. And the other part is that I love sisterhood. I think it is so vitally important that when sisters come together and they can learn to trust each other once again, because I think there's been so much wounding around that can heal both ourselves and the collective. And I also love that there's 4 of us, because you're not just getting one person's perspective and one person's healing, you are getting 4 different people holding space, who can hold space so much more powerfully and with so many different ideas and healing modalities coming together, that it is like what Jen said, it's the ripple effect is so much bigger, and it feels so powerful and so healing. And I just am so grateful and so blessed to be in collaboration with such amazing women, and I am very happy to be here. So thank you.
I hope people don't get sick from our love fest. But it's literally a love fest. So, okay. And so I think we've kind of touched on this question a little bit, but I'd love to hear, what impact you hope we have on the world and through Optimistic Wellness, and what your favorite part about our growing community is. I know for me, again, that accessibility piece is really big, making sure that spirituality is accessible to everyone. And also, our community is so killer. It's, it grew pretty fast right from the beginning. I think currently we're somewhere in the 40s of members, and I love people sharing their experiences and asking questions, and they're really starting to interact with each other and not just us. And so it's really beautiful. So that's my favorite part, is just of the growing community, is the fact that the community is growing. Tell me a little bit about what you think, Lydia.
Yeah, ditto. Ditto to all of this in the Love Fest. I think I remember at Omega when we all met, there was a quote that was being passed around, was by the Dalai Lama: "The world will be saved by the Western woman." And I really believe that, like, this is our time to not be tearing each other down and shaming. And we've had this ancestral wounding of doing this for long enough. Like, we're done. We're done. And it's time for us to have a safe space to learn and to listen, and acknowledging that you might not agree, but that you can hold space for that person, and that together we will rise. And so the impact that I feel like we have here in this container is to really encourage everyone to jump in and to have a voice in whatever way that looks, whether it's sharing it, actually speaking, or having a voice offline in your life, in your workspace, whatever that looks like. And I think the potential here for impact is it's limitless, and we're here to birth in this new earth together. So I know that we're all here at the right time. And my favorite part is I think what Jordan shared and what everyone else is sharing is watching. It's not a climbing to the top experience. It's really about sitting in sacred circle and listening and getting multiple perspectives. I love the fact that we have many ages, that it's not within one small age gap, because we have so much to learn from our elders, and that we really foster a community that all women can be welcome. So that's my favorite part.
I love it, definitely. And Jen, tell me about it.
I think my favorite part, honestly, is the fact that we have our own platform. I really enjoy that. Social media has its place. It's fun to be on it sometimes, and sometimes it's triggering. And so I really enjoy the fact that we're utilizing Slack, and we kind of have our own network and our own community. And it's sort of an individual and also communal style grouping process, where you can go on and pick your own channels, what you want to subscribe to, what you would like to write about. It's really all an intricate sort of a la carte way of, maneuvering the site, which I really love that about the community. I also really enjoy getting the feedback from different members about how the moon is starting to influence, how they're starting to see the influence of the moon on their daily events, when it really was something that never really came into their consciousness, and how the energy around them really can be something that can be utilized for positive change. I absolutely enjoy seeing this community grow. I believe that through growth, we definitely can create a massive amount of change internally. When we see this stuff going on in society now, this is all about trauma coming out to the surface. And, we need to be there for each other to help each other heal. And after the healing, we can give love without expectation. And that's really what true love is defined as.
Heck yes. And Shayna?
I have a few favorite things, but I just touch on what Lydia and Jen already shared, is that I love within our community that people that haven't been exposed to certain things, whether it's astrology, whether it's breathwork, whether it's the healing meditations, that people are being exposed to multiple things that they weren't aware of before, and they're finding such deep healing or awakening or value in those things. And people can take the pieces that resonate with them and can utilize them, and they're being awakened to new ideas and new ways of healing. And I see that super beautiful. And I love that the women are showing up and sharing pieces of themselves. I love that it is a safe, contained space where people that haven't necessarily felt safe having a voice or sharing their opinion in other ways have a safe container where they get to show up and share their voice and share their vulnerability. And there is no shaming going on, and there's no judgment going on. It's truly an open place of love and healing. And like Jen keeps coming back to love, I totally resonate with that. On the other side of healing trauma is this expansion into love, and you can already feel that and see that growing within our community. So that's some of my favorite parts.
This makes me happy. Okay, I'm going to throw you guys for a little bit of a loop. I gave you this question ahead of time, but I didn't give you parameters. So in one sentence, if someone's considering joining OptiMystic Wellness, what do you want them to know? Lydia, you're up.
Oh, I'm going first. I love it. Okay. That all the answers that you are seeking are within, and any light you see here is a reflection of your own inner light.
It was a little run on, but I really liked what you said, so I'll give it to you.
It totally was a run on. And let me go. Thanks.
Oh, sorry, my 4-year-old is here. Jen, one sentence. Someone's considering joining OptiMystic Wellness. What do you want them to know?
Truly healing sisterhood circle, melding into one love fest. Period.
I dig it. Shayna.
Embodiment, empowerment, sisterhood, love, self-care, self-nurturing, expansion into the truth of your light and your soul.
Perfection. My one sentence is, we are here for you and you are meant to be here. So join us. Thank you, ladies, so much for your time and energy that you put into the collaborative month after month. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you, and I can't wait to share it with more people.